Another example is potentially a sibling that allows themselves to mourn the attention that they never got, which then opens space for more patience for their brother or sister now. So let me give you some tips that you can do. And this is really powerful. So prepare to be a bit emotional if you really take it seriously. Write a letter to your younger self and talk to them like they needed to be talked to. Acknowledge the help that you needed but didn't receive. You'll be surprised at what comes up, and you'll find yourself back in time where you needed a lot more compassion and love. Practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. And if you catch yourself talking in a way to yourself that you wouldn't to someone that you care for, try to clean that up, because those pathways get deeper the more we talk to ourselves in ways that are unkind. And allow yourself to feel grief without judgment. It's really necessary, especially towards healing unresolved resentment. Compassion for others starts from within. We don't have it for others typically if we haven't given it to ourselves. So when we grieve our own losses and we practice self-compassion, we replenish our cup. Our reserves get full. And compassion isn't about ignoring our needs. It's about honoring them so that we can show up authentically and kindly. Resentment's a sign that we're running on empty and that we are out of space and that we are giving when we don't have much left to give. And that usually happens when we're not first giving to ourselves. And so if you're thinking about this as an issue for you, you're not alone. Kind of check in and be curious about that. So let me give you a little bit of an example, because if you tend to your own grief, you'll find it easier to support others in their emotional needs without the resentment. That's really what it's all about, right? Is cultivating connection that doesn't feel burdensome. So let me give you some practical tips that might help. I want you to think about setting boundaries that honor your need for space and time, that prevent compassion fatigue and that prevent burnout. And remember that when you have compassion for others, you have to first start with yourself. I like this mantra: I can care for others without abandoning myself. And I think that that's something, especially as a trauma therapist, I have to think about regularly. And on the days that I start my morning with a compassionate practice of self-care, I do a lot better with my clients because I have plenty to give. And I think that's important. I can care for others without abandoning myself. And so if you're in a caretaking role, whether it's as a parent or in the occupation that you chose, try to adopt some of these strategies so that it's easier to remain balanced and full. So thank you so much for tuning in, because resentment is a signal. It's not a flaw, and it points us towards our unspoken needs and our unmet expectations and our old wounds that need our attention and love. And by grieving what we lost and practicing self-compassion, we'll have space for genuine connection now with the people in our relationships and in our life now. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone that might need to hear a little bit about how to heal from their own resentment. Know that you're not alone. This is a common feeling, and it's hard to name and figure out.